Hi guys, this is Alicia Rath, and I'm just going to warn you, this is a little bit of a vulnerable post here, but I think it's necessary. I was asked by a few of my coaching friends to talk about a little bit why I'm a coach, and I coach through Beachbody, and a little bit about my story. And so here goes. You might have listened to some of my kind of stories before of how I got started as a coach and stuff, but this is a little bit different. My why has evolved and has changed over the last year since I became a coach. I first got introduced to a Beachbody challenge group about 3 years ago. This was at a point in my life where I had a small my third child, Ariana, and she was an infant. During that time, me and my husband were getting ready to launch a brand new church, a startup church, and decided to sell our home and move. And during that time also, my husband changed jobs. Not only did he change jobs, he was working now 2 jobs as pastoring the church, and then also he's a consultant, so he's gone a lot. And so there was this time in my life in 2012 that I was just feeling horrible. I felt worn out, run down, sleepless nights, just eating bad. I mean, everything was just kind of coming to a head. And my spiritual walk with God is very important to me. And I felt like during that kind of season in the fall of 2012, God was just really stirring in my kind of heart that I needed to make some changes. And I really didn't know what that was until a friend of mine from high school, she had invited me to be a part of a challenge group via doing a Beachbody workout program. And so I was really at that point where I needed to make a change. And so I just jumped right in and I said, all right, let's go. I ordered a challenge pack, got my Shakeology, and got started. And needless to say, now almost 3 years later, I am so grateful that she just kind of sent me a note and asked me if I wanted to be a part of something like this. And not only have I lost 30 pounds and have just I'm in the best shape of my life right now, and that's awesome. But here is why I'm a coach. Is now fast forward 3 years later. Yes, losing the weight and all that stuff has been wonderful, but my why has changed just even in the last couple months. Fast forward here now in August, me and my husband really felt as if we were supposed to, that God was calling us to close the final chapters of our church, iChurch. And that was something that was kind of a very a quick thing that has happened, but a very right thing that needed to happen. And through this has been some of the toughest emotional and physical and mental stress that I've ever had upon my life. And I will say that through the grace of God, and I believe through a series of things that has helped sustain me during this time, is why I love being a coach and why I want to see this to help each and every person that I come in contact with. Because there's a time in your life, and if you haven't had this yet, it will happen. I promise you, if you keep on living, if God grants you another day on this earth, is that the crap will hit the fan. And the things that you thought were what you were doing or becoming, or things can change overnight. And it's how we respond to those things that helps us get to the other side. And for me, if you would have asked me this spring if we would be writing the final chapters of iChurch, I would be telling you, heck no. Man, I feel called, and I feel like we were supposed to do what we did. And I really believe that we've been obedient in this process. and it's all good, even though I don't have all the answers of why. And it has been a grieving process. It's been an emotional process I've had to go through. It's had to incorporate counseling. It's been a lot of inward seeking. But I'll tell you why being a coach is something now I'm even more excited about, is because I know on the other side of this video is somebody else where basically the crap has hit the fan, or it's going to. And the daily disciplines and the practices that I've been able to incorporate in my life through having friends that are like-minded, by having people in a challenge group, by having support of a coach, has really helped sustain me during some of the toughest few weeks of my life. And you know, in the grace of God, just being there. And so that's my why, is I really believe, guys, that we as people need to work on our physical health, our spiritual health, our mental health, and our emotional health, and they all work together. You cannot have one functioning without the other. Unhealth creates more unhealth. Health creates health. And so my hope now as a coach, and my why, is to help bring people into their next steps, whatever that is. Each one of us, we're on it. We have a different story. We have a different purpose. And I believe the purpose for each one of us is to let our lives be used for God's purposes. And that looks different for everybody. But I do know this, is that you have to be in a healthy physical state to be able to maximize your potential. You have to be in a healthy mental state so you can keep on moving forward, because the crap hits the fan. Emotionally, guys, we gotta be stable. If you're gonna lead people, there's nothing worse than leading from an unhealthy position. And so that is my why. That is why I want to help somebody take their next steps, because if I can help them make a change in their health and fitness, make a change in their mental health, their spiritual health, just taking that next degree of change to make their life better, I believe it creates a ripple effect. And that ripple effect is, you know, I don't know what that will create, but to me, I know I've seen that in my own personal life. And I can sit here now coming on the other side of being healthy and whole and going through, even though that the last 8 weeks have been tremendously emotional, stressful, I can say that I can sit here and be like, it's good. Like, even though it's been hard, even though it's been emotional, like, I've been able to keep on track with my health and fitness. It has actually burned something in me that that has been amazing. And I know that is because of not just so much of the Beachbody programs. Of course, working out and all that has been beneficial, but it has been the daily disciplines. It has been the system that has helped me. It's been the accountability of friendships and people and other coaches and people that are further along the journey. And guys, that is why I love doing what I do. That is why I do my workout selfies in the morning, and I flex even though I feel so crappy doing it. And that is why, you know, I'm posting pictures about what I'm eating, because my hope is that that encourages you to take your next steps. And so I just want to invite you, if you're somebody on the other side of this video and you are feeling that urge that you need to make a change, come on, let's talk. Send me a note. You know, I'm going to be doing a new challenge group here, and I know that this is designed for some people that really need this, that it's going to be 3 parts, where we're going to work on our physical health, we're going to work on our emotional health and dealing with some emotional eating issues, and we're also going to be talking a little bit about our spiritual compass and where we're at spiritually. And so I would just encourage you, if you would like to be a part of that, send me a note. And let's chat. But guys, that's my story. That's my why. That's why I do what I'm doing, and I love it. And I want to thank you for taking the time and me getting through some of this with some tears. But I I just want you guys to see the passion that I have for each one of you. And I believe that each one of us has our next steps. And on the other side of that, I believe that you guys are going to do great things. And thanks for taking the time and listening to my story. I'd love to hear yours. So send me a note. Okay, guys. See ya. Bye.